This episode is about Minecraft. Liam...
Porn!
No.
What? I thought that's what we were talking about today.
Liam, what kind of experience have you had with Minecraft?
Give me an example.
Like, do you remember the first time you played Minecraft? What platform was it on? What did you do?
Okay, I got you. First time I ever played Minecraft, I was about, I don't know how, it was like a couple months after the game had come out.
Yeah.
So when I was like fairly young, right? So I was like, alright, this is a pretty cool game, right? And at first, my brother's friend was playing it, and then my brother started playing it, then I started playing it. And I started on Pocket Edition, but like the light version.
Me as well, yeah.
So it was like the weird,
very
like,
restricted. It was,
yeah,
like
and
you couldn't
had,
even
like,
do
a full
creative
inventory
mode
and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, doing that, and then my brother comes up to me one day and he's like, "Yo, if you buy the full game, then you have to start off with nothing." And I was like, "Yo, what?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we got like a couple iTunes cards, and then we bought Minecraft. And it was so sick. We just kept playing it on like non-stop. And oh, dude, I'll never forget the first time I found diamonds, dude.
Oh,
it was maybe like a couple months after I started playing. Quite a few months, probably.
Oh, that's a long time to not discover diamonds.
And this was like way back when like there were no caves in Pocket Edition, and you would have to dig all the way down.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
I would dig all the way straight down and then build up 4 blocks and search around for diamonds. That's how I would find my diamonds. But I was just like mining around, doing whatever I was doing, and I found the diamond. And I was on my iPad at my brother's hockey practice or hockey game
Like,
or whatever.
just screaming tears.
Yeah, I was like screaming, right? And then after the game, he like won the game or lost the game. I don't really care. I went into his dressing room, and I'm like smiling at him while I walk in, and he's like, "You found diamonds, didn't you?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I did." It was pretty sick.
So, Minecraft came out. You were born in 2005, correct?
Yeah.
So Minecraft came out when we were 4. And we're both 14 now.
It was... Hang on. It came out when we were 4, yeah?
Yeah, it came out in 2009.
Okay, then... Okay, the first time I ever experienced it was when that one kid showed it to me and my brother.
Yeah.
So, I think it was... I think I was like maybe like 1st grade, 2nd grade. So now that I think about it, quite a few years after that. So what grade were we in like 1st, 2nd?
Like when it came out?
Not when it came out, like, if we were, like, 7 or 8 years old, like, grade 1, grade 2, how old were we?
If I was 7, I would have been in grade 2. So you would have been probably grade 2 as well. Because, did you have kindergarten when you were 5, or did you have it when you were 4?
4.
You had it when you were 4. Okay, I had it when I was 5.
That's sick.
But there's no way we didn't start our classes in the same year.
Yeah.
So we would have been around at 7 years old. We would have been in grade 2. So it came out in 2009. The first time I remember hearing about it was roughly the same way you did. So my friend's brother showed it to us.
Yeah.
And it was heaps of fun. And then, like, I remember not really saying anything about it for, like, a year. And then roughly 2010, like, late 2010, early 2011, I started playing it on Pocket Edition. And then in that same year, we picked up a copy for PC.
Oh, that's sick.
I remember the very first memory of playing it on PC was we screwed around and we like built like a structure and we like looked through the blocks, and then we double pressed space and started flying, and then we couldn't figure out how to get back down. Now I say we, me and my mom. We like searched the controls for how to get down.
Yeah.
And that was my first ever PC game.
That's so sick. I wish my first PC game was Minecraft. I wish my first PC game was Minecraft.
What was your first PC game?
Honestly, I don't even know.
So these
Something
were
weird.
so my first PC game was Minecraft, and I think my second PC game was a little-known game called Ace of Spades. I don't think you've heard of it. It was Minecraft first-person shooter, if that makes sense. And it was like you know how there's like a whole whack of those on the Play Store now? Yeah, that was the first one. Ace of Spades was the very first one, and that was a lot of fun. I still have it on Steam, but it's very dead.
Yeah.
Because that was like the thing to play 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So that was my very first time on PC Minecraft was that, and then on our throughout that year we sort of started learning things, and I think it was probably 2013 we bought another copy of Minecraft for my mom's computer.
Yeah.
My mom, that was the first time we'd ever played Minecraft multiplayer, was we set up a LAN server, and we played that. And that was pretty cool, because that was the first multiplayer game I played with someone that I knew directly.
Yeah.
Like, I'd played Ace of Spades before, and that one you'd play with, like 32 other people, and you didn't know who they were, and generally they would build large phallic objects on the field. But all in all, that was a fun time. But you didn't really know the person you were playing with, so being able to set up a server and know exactly who you were playing with was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a very it came back from the dead recently, which is pretty obvious. I think so. I think that started with all of the people who were once kids in 2012. They became adults and they're struggling and they're grasping for dopamine, so they come back to this for nostalgia, right? And honestly, that's the same thing for me, except I am not old enough to say that I'm struggling yet, even though I am. But it's a huge nostalgia thing, and I think it makes a lot of people happy to just go back and, even just the soundtrack. I will admit, I've cried multiple times to the soundtrack in the past few weeks.
Minecraft soundtrack, dude.
It's the best soundtrack. The, Dry Hands just slaps, dude.
Actually.
But, I think it started with people feeling nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
And then content creators picked it up. So I think...
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that PewDiePie brought Minecraft back, which is not true. PewDiePie contributed. He definitely contributed. And he's bringing a lot of other... he's bringing the younger demographic back to Minecraft. Whereas people like RT Game, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're an Irish casual games YouTuber where they do challenges in they did a challenge where it was design a theme park where people can't go to the washrooms or something like that, or a bunch of wacky challenges. Another one was on his sub server. He made his chat build the entirety of Ireland in Minecraft. So things like that, and he's been playing Minecraft probably since 2017 on his channel. So it was probably the earliest part of Minecraft's resurrection. I think certainly between early 2019 and now, SMP Live has brought it back. People like Carson and J Schlatt, Travis, C Scoop, those people, they have definitely
boosted
and bolstered the love for Minecraft, especially with the amount of like viewership they're drawing for people who are like people in their teens and in their like early adults, like because his humor is perfectly fixed for Gen Z humor.
Yeah,
like his humor, it's literally laughing at beans for 20 minutes just because it says beans, which is, I mean, that's funny to us, not funny to anybody else, but that's why he appeals, and that's why he brings so many people, is because Gen Z is the main group of technologically literate people these days, and so being able to navigate YouTube to laugh at beans for an hour is more accessible to us than any other generation. And I think a humor that appeals to the accessible audience is definitely a priority. Like, if you had boomer humor, but you were playing Minecraft, how many people do you think you'd get? 10? Right? But, I think we definitely owe a bit of credit to YouTubers like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye. The word I personally like to use to describe those YouTubers is the monopoly YouTubers, because they've monopolized the game, as it were. And that's not to say that people like the Misfits or Carson's group of friends, that's not to say that they're not monopolizing the game and becoming popular, but they get much more demonetized than PewDiePie would, because, I mean, PewDiePie survived the N-word, which is a pretty big thing to do. I mean,
that was a funny day.
It's not a big thing for Fitz, because Fitz's humor and Fitz's fan base, like, no one, literally no one cares. But with PewDiePie, like, the amount of kids that learned that word that day, unprecedented, right?
Yeah.
But we definitely owe a little bit of the credit for Minecraft's resurrection to them, because they're covering, like, the younger audiences, the audiences that, you know, still find words pronounced in a cutesy way to be the pinnacle of comedy. Like, those kind of people are being brought back to Minecraft. And that's important, because I distinctly remember, like, 3rd grade, if you played Minecraft, you got called gay. Like, because Minecraft was a kid's game, which is really funny, because we were really young in the 3rd grade. It would make sense if you said that now, because, like, I mean, at our age, like, we could get our learners, right? That's a fairly adult thing to be able to do. I mean, you're not, like, you know, self-sustainable yet, but, like, that's a bit more big boy pants than, you know, just getting out of diapers.
Yeah.
So, I think it's funny that was the way it was described in 3rd grade, but, like, it wasn't a huge thing in 3rd grade, but I definitely still played it in 3rd grade. So, probably between, like, 5th grade and 2018, I played Minecraft either as a joke or, like, just cause. Like, I would get bored out of my mind playing, like, Terraria or something.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, you know what, let's head back to that. I wanna do that for a little bit. And I would play it for a bit, and then I would get bored, and then I would probably shut it down and not touch it for a while.
Yeah.
But, I only recently started getting back into it, honestly, because of people like RT Game and Call Me Carson.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since SMP Live became a thing, all I've wanted to do is, like, join SMP Live. Like, that's why I really want to get big streaming, is because think about that experience. Like, not only would it be cool to, like, meet people that are on that server. I mean, Captain Sparkles is on that server.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, right? But, like, so, here's a list of the famous people. There's, like, 4, like, particularly famous people that are on that server. So there's Ant Venom, which is famous for what? Oh, sorry, 5 famous people. They added another one recently. So Ant Venom is one of them, for obvious reasons. He's, like, probably the 2nd largest Minecraft YouTuber, next to Captain Sparkles, who joined recently. They also got the voice actor for Gumball on that server, which is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see, who else did they get? Oh, they got Fitz. he's famous for different reasons than the other ones are, but he's still equally famous, right? They also got Pokimane. You know, the streamer?
Yeah.
Fucking,
oh god.
They got her.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Carson managed to wrench that, but somehow Carson convinced Pokimane to join SMP Live. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other people that are, like, internet famous, but they're not, like... They're not, like, getting a crowd of 1 million people in Melbourne to yell misfits or wankers at you kind of famous, like Fitz is. And they're definitely not 10 million subs because of Minecraft series famous.
Yeah.
And they're definitely not, you know, stress ball famous. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you should probably search it up on Urban Dictionary. So, but, like, just the experience of, like, if you make it big streaming, and you, like, either, like, just bump into Kami Carson and, say you're at TwitchCon, and Carson's doing another one of the bro-fisting Twitch streamers or whatever.
Yeah.
And he, like, comes up to you to bro-fist you, and then you end up having a chat with him, right? This is how I'm imagining you would get into SMP Live. Like, what do you do when you get in, and all of a sudden, not only are you fans of all the people on the server, but you're also now a peer? Like, how does that transition work? And I'm fairly certain that's probably how a lot of people, like, the example in the Misfits group, I'm certain that's probably how Swagger felt meeting Zuckles. And, like, because, like, so if you haven't watched the Misfits podcast, I think it's the first episode they talk about, like, how they all met each other. And Swagger talks about how he used to be a huge fan of Zuckles for a long time, and he just kind of met him, like, on a surf server one day. I think it was on a surf server, and then they became, like, they like, started playing a little bit there, and they played Rust, and, like, this entire time, Swagger was, like, fanboying over Zuckles the entire time, which is funny, because you could almost say that Swagger's content has gotten a lot better than Zuckles. Now, to be fair, Zuckles is experiencing some mental health issues. Yeah. But, you know, that's a perfectly good reason to not be making content. But, like, you could almost say, like, it almost rubbed off on him. Sorry, we're getting off topic. Back to Minecraft. Let's talk about the soundtrack. What's your favorite track from Minecraft?
Probably Subwoofer Lullaby.
Yeah. No, that's actually fair. For me, I have two different categories. So, one category is, like, cry yourself to sleep, and the other category is piss people off.
Yeah.
My favorite for cry yourself to sleep category is probably Wet Hands.
Yeah.
Favorite one to piss people off? Stall.
Quality.
I think Minecraft's sound design and soundtrack is one of the very few games that did it right.
Actually.
Because the thing with Minecraft is that if they wanted to do a completely unrealistic set for sound design,
they
100% could have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
But they took the high road, and they, like, actually got some, like, decent sounds.
Yeah.
Another example of good sound design would be Escape from Tarkov, like, where all the gun sounds, the developers in Russia own every single firearm that a player in the game could own.
Yeah.
and they fire it with every single attachment that could be on in the game just to get the distinct sound. There's a video out there of a dude, is the cameraman and then the guy in the Dragunov, and he's got a balaclava on, and he makes like the devil sign at the cameraman, and then just unleashes like 10 rounds into a bush. Hilarious. But that's besides the point. They captured actual gun sounds. Games like Call of Duty, literally, like, some dude in the studio slapped 2 flip-flops together, added some reverb, and was like, this is perfect.
This is perfect. This is what we need.
This is the pinnacle of gun sounds. But with Minecraft, I actually don't know a lot about Minecraft sound design, but what I know about their soundtrack and their music, like their game music design. That was what was done right. They ticked every box for nostalgia. Like, every single one. Sad, check. Catchy, check. A tune that could make people upset and make them smile at the same time, check.
Yeah.
They ticked every single box. And it works wonders. I honestly don't know how, C418 Sweden could just come on while you're walking in a mall. And I don't know how you wouldn't break down crying.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's probably my favorite video game soundtrack. Honestly. I actually can't think of many games where I've genuinely paid attention to the music more than Minecraft. I mean, there's not a lot of games there's not a lot of games I play that have like good listenable music.
Yeah.
Arma, it's got ambient music.
Yeah.
But, like, that's for, like, the tense situations. Like, you don't listen to that, like, in bed while you're chilling, right?
Yeah.
Rust, it's got menu music, it's got loading music. That's all you need to listen to. Everything else is distracting from the game. DayZ, great menu music, great loading music, nothing. Now, I don't play a lot of casual games. I play a lot of, like, first-person shooters and competitive games.
Yeah.
I think the next closest game that I've actually paid attention to the music design is probably Csgo.
Csgo's got a pretty good one.
And Csgo has a huge, wide range of music. I'm surprised Valve was willing to shell out the money to the creators and artists to, like, get the copyright for the music kits.
Yeah.
Because, like, Gaben is one stingy man. Like, I don't get how, like, that went through. But, it's got some, like, without the music kits, it would have a pretty good sound design. I mean, they didn't fire their own guns to get the sound design, but they took real gun sounds, so their sound design is pretty okay. But the music fits the occasion, right? It's tense, it's suspenseful.
Yeah.
It's ambient and it changes on a whim it changes whether you're losing or winning the round, right?
Yeah.
So that they got right, but Minecraft is a particularly good example because, like, you wouldn't go upstairs and lay in bed and be like, you know what? I really want to listen to the CS:GO soundtrack right now. Like, that's just not a thing you do. But you would, like, you could totally play Minecraft songs at a funeral.
Yeah.
Not stall.
That'd be kind of dumb.
But, like, just imagining, like, you're like, the deceased son would now like to say a few words, and then, like, as he's walking up to the podium, it's just,
bum, 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 bum.
No. Like, no, you could do that one, but, like, stall, right? Like, the son's just walking up to the podium, and it's just, like, you couldn't play that at a funeral. But, like, something like C418 Sweden or Wet Hands, those two would be, like, really, really great for funerals. My mom, a few weeks ago, she said, I forget how we got to the conversation, but she said that she wanted Minecraft songs played at her funeral.
Oh.
Which now means that I have to associate that song with her death, which doesn't make it
That's kind of
that much better, honestly.
That's kind of really sad.
A couple of weeks ago, I wrote something down in my notes that I kind of wanted to read for the topic of Minecraft. It covers a few of the things that we've already talked about. I tried not to spoil everything, but this is an excerpt from August 6, 2019. I said, "Listen to the Minecraft soundtrack just now. I don't think I've cried like that yet this year. My mom said to me the other day, I want to have my Minecraft soundtrack played at my funeral, which means I have to associate Minecraft music with my mom's death now. I only realized how influential Minecraft really was to people. Minecraft was, and still is, the best game of all time, hands down. There's never been anything that's drawn more people together than Minecraft has. It makes me really happy to see that after 10 years, it's still going strong, and thanks to YouTubers and communities and streamers, it hasn't died out yet. It also makes me sad that I know it will die out someday, and I'm just not prepared for that. I love Minecraft, and I remember my first time having played it on PC. We loaded up creative mode, we flew, and we promptly couldn't figure out how to fly down. Or that time me and my mom were playing, and I stuck a piece of nether brick in the wall and put a sign saying, 'All in all, it's just a nether brick in the wall,' which is a reference to a Pink Floyd song. We both laughed and we both smiled. Or maybe that time, me and my mom and my dad and our friend Jason all played for the last time in a while. I hope Jason plays again with someday. We had our bases in one area, and we had this big man-made waterfall of lava nearby, and it was a huge distraction. I miss all the time spent playing around with mods and finding something new that I liked, and I miss all the hours spent building things that no one else would see, just to try building it. It all started with a YouTuber named Chimney Swift. He was a good guy, good character, and his content was really funny, for 2012. Then I started watching the Yogscast. Things really picked up there, with the Tech It series, the Volt series, and all the Feed the Beast stuff they did. And now today, Combi Carson and the SMP Live crew, which the Misfits guys are getting involved, RT Game and his community. I hear PewDiePie is doing a Minecraft series now, and apparently so is Jacksepticeye. We've come so far since its first steps in 2019. I was only 4, and I've practically grown up alongside this game. I'm so proud to say that I was a part of the beautiful, blossoming community that Minecraft was, is, and will be."
Damn.
I finished writing that and I was like, that ending is powerful. You could put that at the end of a book and people would start crying on cue, like at the snap of a finger.
That's so sad, bro.
But, well, I mean, the way I wrote it is really sad, but, like, in our reality, like, it's sad to think that Minecraft is going to someday die out, but think of the game that might replace it, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of bar that Minecraft is set do you think another game would have to cross to hop over to be better, right?
Yeah.
I want to discuss the very first Minecraft YouTuber that I watched. So, I remember very distinctly there was this app that we downloaded on my mom's phone. It was some sort of like Minecraft tutorial app, and we were using it to like better ourselves at Minecraft. But there was also a videos section. And the first video that was there was, so I think it was the Yogscast Survival Island section. And there was a lot of swearing, and my mom told me to turn it off. Because I was like, maybe 8? No. Definitely not 8. I was maybe 7 at the time, right? But the next video was a video by a YouTuber called Chimney Swift 11. And so if you search up Chimney Swift 11 on YouTube, he won't show up anymore. He's still there, but he shows up with a different name. But all of his old Minecraft content is still there. And I think the very first... So, he had this series called the Minecraft Files, and there was like 6 seasons of it. So this was like back when like the Let's Play gaming was a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Back when like you would number your videos, and they would be in order, and they would have sort of a storyline.
Oh. It
was huge. It was huge. The very first video he did, it was like a tutorial on how to build like this small sort of, it was like a 5x5 house or whatever. It was like the Spruce Bungalow or whatever was the name. It was the very first video he did. And I remember that video, I watched all of his stuff. There's probably a year's worth of content to go through there on his channel. There's over 600 So I think there's like certain seasons peaked at about 300 episodes. So there's probably about 2,000 episodes that you could watch there, and all of them are like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff to watch, and I watched like all of it. But like a couple of seasons he did vanilla, and then there was one season he did the Tropicraft mod, which like was like the beach paradise mod. That one was actually kind of a cool mod.
Yeah.
And then I went back to vanilla, and then that series ended, and then he got invited to take part with the Attack of the B-Team group, and they made the mod pack on Technic Launcher. And that was also huge. That's what got me a bit more into modded Minecraft, other than another series by a group that I talked about just a little earlier called the Yogscast. I don't know if you've heard of them. You probably have. They're British, like, they're a British content group. And they, it started off with 2 people, and now they've got, I think, like, over 100 employees now. Like, I think, like, 50 of which are content creators. And they've grown into a very reputable brand, but so their very first series, it was a story series called Shadow of Israfel, and if you haven't watched it, I won't blame you, because it was state-of-the-art for 2010, which means that the mics were very grainy, the editing was lackluster, but still, there was a lot of work put into it for what was available at the time. I think their second series was the Survival Island series. So there's a game mode in Minecraft called Survival Island, where you, it's an island with 1 tree, and it's a very small island, and you have to build your base, and you have to dig down and get all your materials and stuff like that, and there are no other, like, islands to explore. It's just 1 island and then pure ocean for the rest of it. Probably would have been a lot harder, or probably going to be a lot harder to, like, experience the authentic game now that the tree generation has gotten better, and the shipwrecks and the ocean update have come through. But it's still, like, a very fun thing to do now, if you can, like, especially if you can, like, load up an old version and then find one of the old seeds for them. Huge thing, right? But they did another series which had a lot of them. This was probably the first series that made a mark on the way I see humor and content today. It was their Tech It series, and that was... So the gist of it, which is actually a thing that is resurfacing now with the SMP Live crew. A bunch of them are doing a Tech It series now, but essentially everyone made a business, and the business had a goal, and the way that you succeeded in this was you automated the process of making or packaging or producing a product to sell. So there were like 2 main factions. There was Csgo, and there was Honeydew Inc. or something like that. So one side, they had to make Jaffa cakes, which are like these little like biscuits that are huge in Britain. They've got like an orange like a jam filling in them, and then it's like a sort of spongy cake around it with and then it's covered in chocolate. That's what a Jaffa cake is. The other group, they found dirt, and they packaged and sold dirt, and that was their aim of the game, right? So that series I will always hold very near and dear to my heart, just because it was very funny. Even so, in the earlier episodes there wasn't a lot of humor, but in the later episodes it was just non-stop humor. And I honestly owe the Yogscast's persistence in playing Minecraft, despite the fact that it died down for a few years, for my actual playing of it, like, unironically during its downtime. They had another series sometime after that, which was the Volts series. Now, Volts was another mod pack on Technic Launcher.
I've never heard of that.
So, the entire aim of Volts, get this, you had to create missiles and bomb the crap out of your opponents.
Oh.
So you could make missiles anywhere from, like mining TNT, like construction TNT, to, like a sound bomb that would throw blocks in the air, to, like, a red matter bomb that created a black hole when it exploded.
Damn.
If you haven't watched the Volt series, one of the most iconic moments, and I don't want to spoil it for people watching, if you haven't seen the Volt series yet, watch it in its entirety, because one of their most iconic moments in Yogscast history comes from that series, and it was hilarious too. I'm not gonna spoil what it was, but if you have watched the series, you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, go watch it because it is awesome. They had several other series in between Volts and whatever they're doing now. One that comes to mind was, I believe, the mod pack, or at least I think the series was called To the Moon, or Moon Quest, or something like that. Basically, they were on Mars, and they had to work their way up the technology chain to build rockets to fly to the moon.
Sick.
And that was the premise, but what made it funny was, so there were 3 people in the group, and for the most part, all 3 of them they took a separate questing chain, and they pursued it. And for the most part, it worked out. But one of these select people, every once in a while, would do something, or there would be a bit that would come up that he would prank other people. He would troll them, which ended up. This is another. It's not so much iconic as, like, near and dear to my heart, just from how much me and my mom laughed at it.
Yeah.
But essentially, the gist of the bit is a baby ended up in a pressure chamber.
Oh.
And that's modded Minecraft for you. There's a lot of, like, things with Minecraft together with content creation. I mean, everywhere from, like, watching Seth Bling's Redstone tutorials to, like, watching, like a Let's Play series that has, like, a documented story to it. There's a lot to cover there, but there's so many YouTubers that did that I haven't watched, so I feel like I'm talking too personally. Do you have anything like that? Like, do you have any YouTubers that you watched that did Minecraft that you were particularly interested with?
What's that guy called? The Diamond Minecart. Dan TD.
Oh, yes! I remember him.
Dude, fucking Trioris.
I remember him,
He had a I'm pretty sure it was like a Let's Play.
Yeah.
It was like one of those series things. And it was this one horror map. And I would, like, watch that on repeat. I would watch the whole thing. There was like 10 or 12 episodes. And I would just watch the whole thing constantly. And I would just keep watching it. It was so sick. Oh. Dude. That guy was sick. That guy was pretty epic.
Yeah, I remember when I was, like, really little, like grade 3, I would watch him, and then he sort of became another one of those, like, to me anyways, he became another one of those YouTubers where the money and the fame got to him a little bit, and his content was kind of on the decline from there forward.
Yeah.
People have perfectly fine reason to still like him, and that's fair enough, but in my personal opinion, there's a bit of a decline. I personally remember him for his, like, Mod Lab series, where he had I don't know if you remember this, but he had like this lab set up, and he would test mods in this big like glass and iron dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember.
That's probably one of his most iconic series, honestly, because like he cranked out quite a few of those. And I stopped watching him probably around 2015, late 2015 probably. So I don't know if he had a more iconic series after that, but that was what I remember him for. What do we think of Minecraft parodies? Those are awesome.
Dude.
I think it's so funny that Revenge has come back from the dead now.
Dude.
Like, like, Minecraft came back, and everyone thought that was great, and fine and dandy. And then a Minecraft parody that the creator himself cringes at violently every time someone brings it up to him. It came back with Minecraft. That's awesome. I think the fact that Minecraft has come back means that we might see another golden age in gaming. Because since PUBG dropped, we've kind of been on the decline as far as battle royales go, and Fortnite is really milking it. But Minecraft is on the up and up, and Fortnite is on the down, which is great. Because that means we're going to have kids that are creative again, that are, like, kind and respectful again, and not like the kids that die in Fortnite and then scream for 20 minutes.
God, I hate that generation.
What do we even call that generation? Like, the Gremlins? Gremlins is better because they're short still. I don't know, they might confuse you with one of them. Told you, I'm getting more creative with the short jokes, alright? Yeah, we're at 42 minutes now. Well, I think we should probably wrap this up, but,
alright.
Listeners, if you haven't touched Minecraft yet...
You're an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot. Pick up a copy of it and... No, listen, right? Pick up a copy of it and play it. Doesn't matter if it's on Pocket Edition, or if it's on PC, or Xbox, or PlayStation. Doesn't matter. Just play it, because it will change your life. It's that good. It's calming, but it's also intense. It's fun, but it's also challenging. There's no tutorial, so it doesn't force you into learning the game. It's the kind of game where unless you haven't, or if you haven't watched the YouTubers, you're gonna have to learn yourself, and that is what we really need for gaming. So if you haven't played it in your life yet, pick up a copy and play it. If you own a copy and you haven't played it in a while, try and think up your password and your account details and just play it. Just go back to it and play it again, because it'll seriously bring you back, and you'll probably feel a little bit better after playing it. All right. So, this has been the Pogscast. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.